Coming up today on Taking Over Tottenham, we take on Aston Villa in the Premier League away from home. Before we crack into deadline day, what business will we do late? Let's find out after the intro. Hello everyone and welcome back to episode number 15 of Taking Over Tottenham here on Shaun Does FM. I hope you are doing well, and if you're looking forward to this one, we've got Aston Villa and deadline day as well as a bit of other stuff as I said in the intro. Then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. But we've got a few things to cover off before we get into this Aston Villa game and then deadline day. We've played a few games since the end of yesterday's episode where we played our second game of the Premier League season, which was a North London derby. Also wrapped up a few more transfers, so if you've missed that one, I'll leave a link to it above my head in the top right corner. But having a look at the schedule since then, and you can see our form has been very good. Off the back of that Arsenal game, we took on Bournemouth, a pretty comprehensive 3-0 win away from home. And off the back of that, we took on Chelsea in what was an early season top of the table clash and ran out very nice 3-0 winners in this one. Højbjerg went off about 10 minutes prior to this goal, but it didn't impact us too badly throughout the rest of the game. Ndombele there with a bit of a rebound shot to put us 1-0 up about 13 minutes shy of half-time, and we got into gear late in the second half. Heung-min Son with a wonderful strike from the edge of the box there to make it 2-0, and then Harry Kane got a late penalty, just sneaks that past Mendy in goal after he missed the penalty 1 minute earlier. So a couple of late chances there for Harry Kane, and in the end we pick up a pretty comprehensive 3-0 win. You look at the stats and it's hard to argue that we didn't deserve 3 points out of that early season clash with the Blues these days, coached by Diego Simeone, as you would have seen a couple of episodes ago when we did the Club World Cup. Off the back of that, as you would expect with the games that we had off the back of that, we kept our winning run going for most of the rest of it. One slightly disappointing performance there in a away 0-0 draw at Southampton. It was a game we had to rotate the team around in a little bit, especially the wingers, Bergwijn and Sessegnon starting. That I think we definitely don't play as well when we're missing Heung-min Son out on that left-hand side. But on the whole, we have had a very good start to the Premier League season with more wins over Brentford and Wolves. So going into this Aston Villa game, what that means for the Premier League table is we are in second but have a game in hand on Manchester United, who are only 1 point ahead of us. So if we win this game against Aston Villa, who, as you can see, if we go down just a little bit more, are down in the relegation zone, so it's a game that we should be winning, then we will go back top of the table, albeit we have not taken on too many big teams yet. The only big team we've really taken on based on the table is Chelsea, so it will get tougher for us in the next couple of months or so. But before we get into this Aston Villa game, a quick transfer update. We've done no more business since yesterday's episode where we added the likes of Tanguy Nianzou, Calafiore and Yusuf Demir, but one offer that is in the works going into deadline day is that Jack Clarke may be leaving us to go to Wolves. 12.5 million rising to 16 million. They did offer us a deal in which they would pay us nothing in exchange for Pedro Neto instead of Jack Clarke, but unfortunately Pedro Neto wanted to be a star player here and he's only 2-star rated, so that was not going to be a goer. They've put an offer in of just money, no Pedro Neto in exchange, and I think it's a good value. Of course, we do have the young Brazilian Angelo joining us halfway through the season, and of course we do have Yusuf Demir, who can play on the right wing for us as well. So I feel like for a respectable amount of money, Jack Clarke can go to Wolves. So that's one deal in the works. As you can see, our transfer budget not too great, so it's probably one that we actually need to do in terms of getting a bit of added money into the coffers should some more come out for when players play so many games. And I think we can get by without Jack Clarke until Angelo comes halfway through the season. But at some point in this episode, Jack Clarke is probably going to be heading off to Wolves. And we have also recently had the Champions League group stage draw. Of course, we are in the Champions League this season after finishing fourth in the Premier League last season, having won the Conference League as well. So it's good to be at the top table of European football. We'll scroll our way down these groups so you guys can have a quick look at who's in which group. A few interesting names up the top there. We keep making our way down. Barcelona and Juventus in Group E, but we find ourselves down in Group F, and it is with Paris Saint-Germain. That is going to be very tough for us to try and knock those guys off. But the two other teams in our group, the teams that we are going to need to be beating, are Red Bull Salzburg and Wolfsburg. I feel like those are two teams we should be beating, so hopefully we can make our way into the later stages of the Champions League this season. But we might come back a few times and just see what that PSG team is looking like in this 2022-2023 season in this beta save. Make our way down a little bit further. Group H, very tasty with Liverpool and Dortmund taking each other on. But I think we've got a group which we should be able to get out of, even if we do have to do it through finishing in second. And going into this Aston Villa game today, unfortunately, we do carry a few injuries going into this one. Steven Bergwijn's out for a little while at the moment. He's got shin splints out for 3 to 6 weeks, so he won't be featuring. Højbjerg nearly back from the injury he suffered in the Chelsea game, a groin strain. Not quite, though. That means Dele Alli is currently our first choice box-to-box midfielder. He might not play today. We'll have to see how players' fitness goes. Sessegnon and Gill both recently back from injuries as well. So starting to replenish the wing stocks after we were missing a few wingers in those recent games, but the players who won't be available today, Bergwijn and Højbjerg. But we'll come back shortly and run you guys through the team sheet for this game away from home at Villa Park against Eddie Howe's Aston Villa. Let's see if we can keep our good run of form going and go back top of the table. And here are the team sheets for this game. Aston Villa at home on the left layer, looking very Aston Villa-like. Not too many notable additions there from what I can tell. In terms of us, we have had to use a fair bit of rotation going into this game, just making sure players don't get too injury prone. So we've got Nianzou and Davies at the back, Winks and Devine in the midfield, who fill in for some tired players, Ali and Lo Celso. And our front three, though, is first choice Corona, Son and Kane. So a few changes there defensively and in the midfield, but hopefully we'll still be good enough to pick up 3 points against Aston Villa here. And we've also got some interesting players on the bench. Yusuf Demir could get his first run on camera in this game as well. 5 minutes gone and we are in possession in the first highlight of this game, just starting to drive forward here at Villa Park. Heung-min Son makes his way forward, gets beyond the defence, 1-on-1 with the keeper. His shot straight at Martinez, and it does remain nil early. 13 minutes gone and we are on the attack again from a very similar place to where that first highlight started. Romero makes his way forward, picks out Kane. Son with another shot, really good save that from Martinez, trying to pick out the top right corner. It was more or less straight at the Aston Villa goalkeeper, but he still does well to keep it out. We have a corner. Cooper heads that away for Aston Villa as Jesus Corona will tidy things up. We'll see if anything comes from this highlight. Son back to Nianzou. Son. Nianzou, a really poor pass there from our new centre-back. And after a quarter of an hour, still 0-0. 20 minutes gone and we've got the third highlight of this game, a throw into Aston Villa. It's been a pretty even game stats-wise so far, but the highlights so far in our favour. But Aston Villa now make their way forward. They're going to try and pick out Alvarado with a header just high and wide. Good, decent chance there for Villa, but still 0-0. 28 minutes gone and we do have a corner. Heung-min Son to put this in. Romero's given a ton of space inside the 6-yard box there. That is some woeful defending from Aston Villa, and that is as easy as you like for a good aerial threat like Christian Romero. And we go 1-0 up just shy of the half-hour mark. You can see there he is given a ton of space. It was right on the edge of the 6-yard box, in fact, but great chance for us there, and we take it 1-0 Tottenham. Up to the 39-minute mark now, and the goal scorer Romero gets us underway with a free kick just on the wrong side of the halfway line, but he's trying to pick out Jesus Corona there, cleared by one of the Villa defenders, but we do get possession back. Jesus Corona right on the edge of the box, puts a ball in. Harry Kane's there to bundle it home. Not too sure if he had much of a good touch on that, but nonetheless, it's his 200th league goal of his career, and we go 2-0 up just shy of half-time, kicking into gear in the second part of this first half. Jesus Corona just gets on the wrong side of his man here, whips a low ball, and none of the defence doing any work for Aston Villa. Yet again there, a simple finish for Kane, even if he didn't have much of an idea about it. We go 2-0 up just shy of half-time. And that is half-time in this game. Good late finish to that one for us. A simple header for Ramiro, and then Harry came for tapping with 5 minutes to go, and we hold a good solid 2-0 lead. We'll make no substitutions at half-time, and hopefully we can keep this up in the second half. And that's full time. Absolutely nothing happened in the second half, so no point in showing you guys anything. We made substitutions, Demir, Sessegnon, Lodi all coming on, but didn't do a great deal. Nothing at all second half. And we pick up a solid 2-0 win. Yeah, sorry about that second half. Nothing happening, but not much I can do about that. But nonetheless, 3 more points. And with that, we will be making our way back to the top of the Premier League table. And there is the confirmation, 2 points clear of Manchester United after they beat Blackburn earlier on in the day. Arsenal picking up a win as well to get themselves inside the European hunt. A few big wins on this day, as you can see by the earlier scores, but we are top going into deadline day, and we'll come back shortly and see what business we do. And we are at the start of deadline day, so just going to show you guys this inbox item very quickly before we crack into things. As you can see at the moment, we have a very low transfer budget, so we're going to need to sell someone before we can do any business. I am going to offer out the likes of Doherty, Benkovic, and also Carter Vick, as he's a player we definitely need to get rid of, as he has not got much ability at all. So we're going to try and get rid of the American centre-back, albeit he's not worth a great deal, but hopefully we can get rid of them. We'll have with his cash and the Jack Clark cash, hopefully we'll have enough to get in a younger, better right back to provide competition with Caligari and with Emerson Royale. That could be the one area we do look to strengthen here on deadline day. Apparently we're interested in Telemans and Alanga. I don't think that's going to be the case, truth be told. A few clubs interested in Ben Davies. If the right offer came in for him, I'd consider selling him, but he's been pretty good for us so far as a backup left back, is still the backup left back. Calafiori, not quite as good as him yet. Newcastle apparently interested. Will have to be a pretty good offer for us to sell Davies to Newcastle. Oliver Skip as well, doing a decent job. I think we'll want more than 25 million for the young defensive midfielder, but the area we are definitely looking at strengthening here on deadline day is going to be right back. So we'll see what we can do with Matt Doherty and the rest to try and raise some funds to get in a better right back. And we have had some offers for Matt Doherty from Roma and West Ham. West Ham only coming in for 10.75 million, so they can sod off with all due respect. But in terms of Roma, look, I don't think we're going to be getting much more than this for Matt Doherty today. He wants to go to Roma. We got 18 million offered for him earlier in the window. He turned down. That was from Porto. I think we're just going to accept that because I think we can do a little bit of business with that 12.25 million offered for Matt Doherty. So what I think we are going to do is wait for that deal to go through, potentially as well as that Jack Clark one, and see what we can get in terms of a third choice right back should Matt Doherty accept that contract from Roma. And only a few hours later, and Matt Doherty indeed this time has accepted the contract offer. A little bit frustrating, as we would have got something a bit more over his value earlier in the window if he had accepted the Porto contract offer, but he didn't. He's going to be going to Roma instead, and we get him off our books, a player who didn't perform that well for us last year as a second come third choice right back once we brought in Caligari. So Matt Doherty is on his way to Roma, and that means we can now go looking for a third choice, potentially even second choice right back, depending on what we can find on our shortlist. Okay, so we've found 2 options to replace Matt Doherty as our third choice right back. It will be a third choice right back. Neither of these guys quite as good as Emerson Royale or Caligari at this stage, but looking at 2 options: Khellven, who is a Brazilian from Atletico Paranaense, and also Jeremy Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen. Having a quick look at their stats for the wing-back support role, and Khellven does look significantly better, also could be available for a cheaper price as well. So I think what we're going to do is see what Khellven actually wants in terms of his demands through his agent. So we'll ask him what they want, and apparently he's actually going to be available for cheaper than they said there, so that makes this seem like a very sensible transfer. So we'll go put an offer in for him, apparently somewhere between 5 and 7 million. And we'll get a deal done here for the Brazilian in Khellven. We'll just double check with Frimpong as well. And apparently they want, yeah, as they suggested, between 10.5 and 16.5 million for him. So with that information at hand, I think Khellven is going to be the better play for us here. So we've done a bit of negotiating with Atletico Paranaense for Khellven here. They turned down our first suggestion and with a red offer as well. So we're not going to be able to suggest terms anymore, but we're going to try and offer them 6.5 million up front with an extra 1 million after he plays 50 games for the club. That won't be an issue while we finish this Taking Over Tottenham save. So we'll see if they accept that with a little bit of a percentage of profit from next sale as well. But hopefully this will get Khellven over the line. And Atletico Paranaense did accept that offer for Khellven, so it is now time to try and negotiate a contract. Wants a fairly low wage fringe player playing time as well, so that should suit quite nicely for our third choice right back. So we will give him that fringe player immediately, no issues there. We'll just try and talk this wage down a little bit more. In fact, I think we'll just get rid of the add-ons because it's not too bad a wage. So we'll get rid of the yearly wage rises, the unused substitute fee, and also after reaching so many club games. Oh dear. Right, that backfired rather spectacularly. I think we'll have to go after Frimpong now. Bugger. Okay, so after that absolute balls up from me regarding Khellven, we are now going after Jeremy Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen, and they have accepted an offer. I think we offered them about 10.5 up front, and it's going to jump up to 15.5 and add on. So spending more money here on a player who I don't think is as good, but we don't really have a choice now because we sort of stuffed ourselves up there with trying to be a little bit smart with the negotiations contract-wise with Khellven. So yeah, I've had a shocker there, but we'll see what we can do here with Frimpong. He wants more wage, better squad role, but still should be something that we're able to give him when we do get injuries throughout the year. So we'll just talk this down ever so slightly. Here we'll get rid of that unused substitute fee. We'll try and talk him down to about 55k. We'll leave in the wage after so many club games, and we'll just boost up the agent fee a little bit here to try and get him over the line. At least his agent has a little bit more patience, it would appear, and we're just trying to get this wage down a little bit more around that 55k a week mark, and he has accepted that. So after ballsing up the Khellven situation, we should be able to get Jeremy Frimpong in to replace Doherty as our third choice right back, and Bayer Leverkusen will not be getting him back on loan. And we'll see if that one gets over the line after that Khellven cock up. And after taking a little while to go through this deal that was first pitched before deadline day, Jack Clark is now about to go off to Wolves. As I said, with Angelo coming here mid-season, also with Yusuf Demir joining the club, I felt like this was a deal that was pretty good. It's about his market value. Doesn't have a great deal of potential, does Jack Clark. Only 3 stars, even though he did a decent job for us as our third choice right winger last season. So Jack Clark for 12.75 million up front, rising to 16 million with installments and add-ons. He is going to make his way to Wolverhampton. Jack Clark leaving us on deadline day. And not long off the back of that one, we can confirm Jeremy Frimpong is about to join us after we should have got Khellven, but I stuffed it up, having to pay a little bit more of a wage as well, but his agent was a bit more patient, and that's why he's going to join us instead of Khellven. So Jeremy Frimpong to become our third choice right back here at Tottenham. And that pretty much wraps up deadline day here at Tottenham, doing what we wanted to do, getting rid of Clark and Doherty and bringing in a new right back, third choice right back in Jeremy Frimpong for a little bit more than we would have liked. As I said, made an absolute meal of the Khellven negotiations, but we still got our man. And as it turns out, something I didn't actually consider during the negotiations, but if we have a look at the coach report, he is actually trained in England between 15 and 21, so that's going to be quite useful for us in terms of squad registration in the future as well. That 4-star potential, fairly well-rounded Jeremy Frimpong, but has a little bit of work to do before he gets past the likes of Caligari and Emerson Royale. We also made one more sale on deadline day. If we go to transfer history, didn't bring you guys this one because it wasn't too notable. Cameron Carter-Vickers has gone to Lille for 2.5 million. As I said, a player I was looking at getting rid of Potentially could have got a little bit more for him, but I thought we'd just get him off our books, the 24-year-old American, leaving us for the defending French champions. Although in this save, I don't believe they are. If we have a look at Ligue 1 from last season, didn't have too much of a look at Ligue 1 last season in terms of the past winners, but Paris Saint-Germain indeed did do an absolute number on the rest of the teams, as you would expect, not losing a single game. So that's what we've got to look forward to when we take those guys on in the Champions League. But on the whole, if you have a look at our transfer window back on the inbox, we spent 113 million and received 99 million. So not a massive net spend for us there, but still don't have a great deal left in the transfer budget after deadline day. So we've done about what we wanted to do here at Tottenham for the second season. Hopefully we can keep up the good form that we've started off with in the Premier League. But that will do it for today's episode. Aston Villa, a solid 2-0 win away from home there, and deadline day getting rid of Clark, Carter Vickers and Doherty, and bringing in Jeremy Frimpong. In terms of when we're going to be coming back for the next episode, originally when I saw the month of September, I did think it was quite a skippable month and we might just come back for a couple of games in October before, of course, in November, the World Cup does start. So we're going to have a little bit of a break and be able to go through the season a little bit quicker, skipping through those months and start getting into the January transfer window. But with the Champions League starting, there is a notable fixture coming up in the middle of the month. So I think we're going to be coming back tomorrow for a game in the Champions League, the home leg against Paris Saint-Germain. And we'll see how we get on against the team that did not lose a game in Ligue 1 last season with that front three. No longer of Mbappe. He's joined Real Madrid, of course, but they do still have Neymar and Messi. So that is going to be a very tough test for us. With a quick look at them and just see if they have any starting striker who is of note there at the moment. We'll go up a little bit more. Karim Adeyemi, of course, he joined them. So they are playing Adeyemi up top, the player who we potentially could have gone after earlier in the transfer window, but decided would go for Angelo instead. So Messi and Neymar with Adeyemi, not as threatening potentially there. Adeyemi definitely one for the future, so that could be a game that's a little bit more winnable than I thought there, but we'll see what happens. They haven't got any other super strikers on the bench, have they? Calamuendo, no one overly notable there. Icardi, he's pretty dangerous, truth be told, so they still could have quite a lethal front three there, but certainly nothing as good as a front three of Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe. But yeah, we'll see how we get on tomorrow against Paris Saint-Germain to kick off our Champions League campaign. And we'll also bring guys a screen as well just to reinforce that Manchester City have Erling Haaland and they spent a ridiculous amount of money on him. The most notable deadline day deal was Paris Saint-Germain selling Leandro Paredes to Arsenal. So Arsenal looking to bring in after a bit of a shocking start to the Premier League season here. But as I said, we'll come back tomorrow and try and tip up PSG to start off our Champions League campaign. If you did enjoy today's episode, then do remember to go down below, leave a thumbs up on the video. And if you haven't done so already and are enjoying the series here on the channel, also remember to hit that subscribe button and turn that notification bell on as well. And until tomorrow, where we play our first Champions League game of the save against Paris Saint-Germain. Thank you very much for watching. Keep on keeping on, and I'll see you then. Cheers.